Where there are people, you can bet there are rats. Every major city in the world has them, and Brisbane is no exception. But what may surprise you is that in the past 4 years, the number of complaints to council about rodents has gone up by more than 30%. John Taylor reports.
So what was your issue then, Steph? Living in Brisbane's north, Stephanie Lindors thought she had possums.
We had a problem with our electricity, got chewed up, and all the lights went out in the house. So there was a wall that surrounded this pipe here, and there was a big hole that the possums had chewed out there, and they were living in there. So.
And then how did you feel when they told you that it wasn't just possums?
Well, not very impressed, obviously, that we have rats as well. And I've actually never seen a rat, so I wasn't aware that we had them.
Do you feel a little bit to blame? Are you worried that people will think badly of you?
Well, I suppose so, but we're very clean people, so I don't feel like we should have rats.
Yeah.
And we have 2 little dogs that are supposed to be ratters, so I wasn't aware that we had a problem with rats.
For a modern city, it's an age-old problem. They live among us, scavenging what we leave out. There's lots of food and plenty of shelter. It's just another night in Brisbane, and of course when you're looking for them, you can't find them. I'm talking about rats. You can find possums. But just in the greater Brisbane area alone, there are 10 species of rats. And while we can't find them tonight, we know that they're around. This is footage from 1972. These willing fox terriers were part of a crack squad, the Brisbane City Council Rat Patrol.
Brisbane, and the start of the day's work for the city's Rat Patrol. Unlike some public servants, the terriers of the Brisbane Rat Patrol clearly enjoy their work.
But then, as now, rats are a problem worldwide. They damage property and carry disease, and do a pretty good job scaring people. And while we're nowhere near New York's level, something is happening in Brisbane. The Brisbane City Council records the number of complaints and requests it responds to about rodents every year, and the numbers are steadily going up. For the 2010-11 financial year, 1,102 rodent complaints were investigated citywide. It's gone up every year since, in 4 years by more than 30%. Are there more rats in Brisbane?
We're seeing if there is a statistical trend. You've noted that there has been an increase over a couple of years from 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, but it's hard to say yet whether that's a trend or just a blip, so I wouldn't call it a trend line yet.
The Brisbane City Council still has a rat pack, and their job is not so much to kill rats as to sniff out problems and offer advice to residents. How seriously does the council treat vermin?
It's always been an issue. The experience of Brisbane City Council has always been to have officers on board to deal with these problems. The budget currently for vermin control is just a bit shy of $500,000 a year.
So apparently this is where the rats are getting in here.
Back at Stephanie Lindors' place, just a tiny hole was all it took.
Fairly small prints, because that's from the small footprint. With a possum, it's a much larger print. But both of them do tend to leave smears, which is part of their body oil, and they use that to establish their territory so that other animals know that this is their home area. And the baits are closed and they're lockable to make sure that children and dogs...
While poison baits will help get rid of the rodents at the Lindors home, it's hard to know exactly how many more are out there in the community.
Try to put the access hole close to a wall. From our records, we believe that there's been a slow increase, but it may also be that people are more aware and are looking for the signs. I think there has been a slight increase in domestic chickens, for example, and if people like to keep guinea pigs in their back gardens, those sort of things provide food sources and can attract the rats in.
Like possums and other wildlife, rats are animals we have to live with, just not in the home.
Not very impressed, obviously.